should take it slow.
Hey guys, it's Omega, and today we're talking about Need for Speed 2019 and what I would like to see in the game. This is probably a very pointless video because I'm making this around the time where the game's technically done, where the bug fixes are probably going on, and they're about to release a teaser in like a couple of days or weeks, and June's like next month, and that's when E3 and the EA Play whatever happens, and all the games are being teased and trailers are released and everything. So, pointless video right now, but, you know, maybe I could get a discussion in the comments going or something, what people would actually like to see. Like, obviously this can't be a wish list anymore because, you do that before game's in development or while it's in development. I'm making this video near the end of it. So, what would I like to see really happen in 2019? One of them would be, better police. Payback's police. They were... They weren't the best ones. They could have done better, like... Obviously, free roam police would have been the most obvious one, but... it was a very simplified game. It was really easy and simple. Police would only, you know, you would only get police in events and bait crates and stuff, and you wouldn't actually get any rewards from escaping the police. It was like, hey, you escaped the police, cool, and that'd be it. And if you got busted by the cops, you would just, if you were in one of those runner events, you would just restart the event and do it again. If you were in a bait crate and you got busted, the event would end, but nothing bad would happen. You wouldn't lose any money, you wouldn't get fined like you see in Most Wanted, you wouldn't get an impound strike. Literally nothing negative would happen to the character. So I would like something like that to happen. When you get busted, you actually you know, pay a fine, something we got to see in like the older Need for Speed games, or like get an impound. No, was it called an impound strike back in Most Wanted? Maybe, I don't know, but you would get a strike and 3 strikes and your car gets impounded, something like that. But the police as well, like how they were handled, they were based on how fast the car was. So if you were driving a tier 1 car, you would only see like Crown Vics, and then tier 2 you would start seeing the Chargers, and tier 3 cars you'd start seeing the Corvettes, right? I don't want that. I want it to be like the older games where there would be a heat level, and the longer you would go, the higher your heat level, and the more aggressive the cops became and the faster cars they got, something like that. And yeah, and the rhinos, right? I didn't like them being SWAT vehicles. It kind of didn't make sense in its own way. Like, I would have liked it if it were larger vehicles, like heavy vehicles, like back in the olden games where it was SUVs, something like that. Like, it'd be a more reinforced large vehicle instead of just having an armored truck drive right into you. So changes on that one would be nice. Another thing would be cops to become more tactical, I guess, because in the game it really just felt like they would hit you until they got to stop you, and then they'll just pile on you, and then you'd get busted or something. I would like to see like rolling blocks or whatever they were called, where the cops would actually block you in, like box you in, and they'll slow down and you'd be stuck in there and it would be really hard to get out of. That would be great. So yeah. It may have sounded like I didn't know what I'm talking about. It's because it's kind of dumb. I just want really cool. I want cops to be fun again. Like in Payback, the only reason you do police chases now is the fight. Basically, you're just having a fight against the police, and then you run away. And I don't know. Payback is kind of boring late game. Another thing I want is a longer game, honestly, because the games are awfully short, and I love Need for Speed games. I play them a lot, right? But Need for Speed games, once you complete the story, there's not really much to do. Like, usually the games give you less money, but like once you've done the event first time, you get less money when you do it again. I don't think Payback did that, but in the game, you didn't feel like there was any reason to really do races unless you wanted to get parts for your car, and that was really it. Yeah. I don't know, Need for Speed games don't really have anything other than like the story. Like you can go play online, but really that's it. I would like a longer story. Like a two-part, something like 2 acts. I don't know. Story-wise, I'm not good at making cool stories, but something nice. Maybe a more better. We need a bad guy that's bad. Something we hate, like Razor, but badder. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Okay, let's talk about that something was literally missing from Payback was weather. We didn't exactly have any weather. It was placed in the desert, and then we had like a bit of mountain range and greenery on the side, but it was mostly desert and a big city, and we didn't really get any kind of weather at all. Like, not even rain, really. I don't think that was rain in Payback, was there? No, it wasn't. Yeah, I would really like weather in the game. The game felt really empty and dry. It was like an empty world. There was not. It was like if you were in a really bad simulation of real life. Like you drive around in Need for Speed and you just find the occasional cars, just the civilian cars and stuff driving around, and the occasional race cars that you could chase off. Race, I mean, and that would be it. Like if you went and stopped on a random road, the game looks pretty empty. So I guess a livable, a more lively area, because like having, I keep flubbing in my head. Like I'm trying to say something, but I screw up and then I pause and go, I'm an idiot. What I mean by a more livable map is usually the game makes it look like you're the only person playing it when you're like solo or whatever, and there's like no events going on. Like I'd like it like when night hits, there's like street races start happening on its own and you can actually come across it and like join in or whatever. That would be pretty cool. Instead of them being held in events where you'd drive up to a random spot and you see UI, you click race, and then now you're in a race. Like, I'd love to see races happen within the map without you actually being a part of it. You just see like a group of 8 cars just zoom by while you're driving, go, hey, is that in a race going on? Or like police chases that aren't chasing you, but it's chasing NPC around. Like, the map needs a bit of anarchy or something. It needs something to liven it up. But back to weather, yeah, I would like to see rain. At least rain, please. And maybe fog. Yeah. Also, I think this is like the last 2 things I have on this list. OBS is probably recording screen, but a larger, more dense map, because if you look at Need for Speed's map, it's, if you, I can't talk clearly, I'm an idiot. Okay, if you look at Need for Speed Payback's map, it's actually pretty big, right? But the problem is it's big and it has a whole lot of nothing in the middle. You got the city area, that's pretty dense. Obviously, if you zoom into it, I think there could have been more roads in the areas here. I'm pointing with my fingers, that doesn't help. I'll point with my mouse. I feel like there could have been roads in these areas just to, you know, have more roads than to drive on, and maybe open up the airports, because, you know, cool drag races happen on the airports. Because they're long, straight runways, you'd like that. But like, most of the events, like if I click on here, a lot of events were in the city, and then you had the red canyony area, and then the middle, and then the left. the mountain ranges, but this area was barely used at all while playing the game. Like you only drove here if you were driving on this road, or this road, or this road. You just pass through there. There's nothing to do other than these things here and that one event. It's like, no, I think that's another event. Maybe no, that's a chip. I don't know, but I would like it that the map was utilized better, like evenly split and like usable. Like I said like a lot, didn't I? But see these gaps here. Why do we have empty spaces within these areas? Why can't we have driving areas within here? Because when you're driving, right, you see these long roads. If you stop around here, you'd probably find there's something that's stopping you from going out. Like usually a big pile of rocks, as you can see here. And you can't drive anywhere freely. Like you got these small areas. Like if you go in the game, there's also a bunch of rocks right here, and you have to drive through a certain road just to get to the other side. If we're getting a big map, let us use the entirety of it and not lock us out of these small areas. Unless there's like a reasonable explanation of why we can't drive there, then yeah, okay. But there were just like rock barriers around everywhere. Like anything that was a light color on the map, you could drive in. If it was a little darker, you probably couldn't actually drive in. And then definitely the darkness ones, you can't go there. So I guess a better map. I feel like I'm just rambling and hoping for a good game at this point. Here's my wish list. You can see it. So yeah. Please, 2019 be a better game than Payback. Payback was kind of boring. It's a good game. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It felt empty and didn't live up to Need for Speed as much as I hoped it would have. And I mean, in the story, like, it made it felt like there was gonna be DLC that continued on the story, but nothing ever happened. So, the game felt like it lost support fairly quickly. Like, we had like one DLC, a couple of cars every week, and that was really it. Nothing much happened with the game. So, it'd be great if we got longer support, maybe some DLC, just so we can return to the game. I'm not gonna ask for more cars because we actually have quite a lot of cars, but the super build thing you did, if you're bringing that back, please have more cars, because I kind of found it silly that it was only available on 5 cars and that's it, because the super builds looked really cool. It's like you could have extreme modification, and a lot of the cars, they were meh on modifications. Like some cars were meh on modifications, so the super builds were like that extreme stuff where crazy shit could go down. So yeah, please have that in more cars. Yeah, that's it. I rambled on about a wish list, and this is actually the first time I've made this kind of video, so I might do more of these videos if someone asks for them. I kind of want to practice getting better at making these videos where I just stand in a corner talking to a mic with practically nothing on the screen, hoping for things to happen because I said so. I'm not demanding anything. I want good games.
Final round. Fight.
Life kind of gets boring, you know. I'm all alone. Only playing Forza because that's the only game that has something to do weekly. The Mortal Kombat came out recently. I've been playing that. Oh, I'll press something. I've been playing that a lot. So yeah, that's good. I'm just gonna end this off because it became slightly depressing and boring. Okay, bye. I don't think that was a good bye. See you in the next video when I make it next month. Yeah. Bye.
Fatality. Scarlet wins.